I'm going to exercise discretion and ask Cllr Goldsmith to come and make an additional representation. 3 minutes again when you're ready, Cllr Goldsmith.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you so much for making the extra time for me to speak here on behalf of parents who felt unable to do so themselves. Something is clearly very wrong when parents who are doing their best to support their children feel completely unable to talk about their experiences in public for fear of their safety and their families. In our media especially, the voices of young trans people and their families go completely unheard. We repeatedly hear from the very small number of parents who are hostile towards their child being themselves. We'll hear from concerned media personalities and small pressure groups who exist with the sole purpose of rolling back existing protections and stopping further progress. Locally, we have a small minority of very loud voices who feel emboldened by this and have created environments where the majority of those who this actually impacts don't feel safe speaking about their experiences in public. So I want to read out some selected statements from some of those parents today. The adoption of the toolkit at my child's school has meant she has a happy and safe time at school for the first time. It also means that her peers have understanding and empathy, which has resulted in my daughter and her schoolmates having no difficulties in their friendships. Our family benefited from the toolkit in both primary and secondary school settings, enabling our daughter to participate fully in school residentials, PE, and in daily school life as an equal member of the community. Heartfelt thanks for developing this vital piece of work, which has helped so many families like ours and ensured so many trans and non-binary young people can flourish in the school environment as equal members of the community rather than being segregated or excluded. It means so much. Those are just a tiny number of extracts of feedback I've been sent, and I'm sure there are even more in the consultation documents that Cabinet members will have read. This toolkit has such a positive impact on so many lives, and it's vitally important that their voices are the ones that are heard first and foremost in this process. So I'd just like to end with a full statement from one parent. My daughter knew from an early age that she didn't identify as male and asked to change name and pronouns while at primary school. Our school was fantastic, helpful, and kind, and willing to learn and train, as she was the first openly trans people who they had encountered. Her form tutor used the toolkit as her guide and resource, and the transition for my daughter and her class was beautiful and seamless. Her well-being improved dramatically with the recognition and acceptance of who she was. She transitioned to secondary school, and again, the toolkit was used by her new Senko to guide her through PE, trips, etc. She experienced bullying and hate from some pupils, but school staff were unwavering in supporting her and challenging the hate. The toolkit was her safety net through school life. In short, it was invaluable and massively supported her and our well-being as a family. Please don't waver and continue to support the toolkit. It works and it's invaluable. It supports the safeguarding of some of the most vulnerable children and young people in school and college. Even with it, she was once chased across the level after school by a group of boys shouting her dead name. Imagine how terrifying that was for her, and now imagine if school hadn't felt relatively safe and kind. I have no doubt she would have felt she had to leave school just to survive. Now, more than ever, as her body and her life are kicked about in the sick game of culture wars and by people who know nothing about the lived experience of trans children, she and her peers need guides like this that at least provide for a little kindness in a cold world. Thank you.
Thank you, Cllr Goldsmith, for sharing those testimonies from families that have a gender questioning or trans child or young person. I think you're absolutely right to say that those voices are so seldom heard, and it's so important to provide a space for them. I know myself from speaking to families that have relied on this toolkit previously, that they do feel unable to speak out about their positive experiences because of the climate that you have described. And I'll also say, because we've been provided with the responses to the consultation, that rarely have I seen such overwhelmingly positive feedback from a group of people that have been using a council policy or document as I have in reading the response to the consultation that we received.